Hello everyone, this is Alexandra Merisoiu from Running Wild TV. I'm the founder of the Merisoiu Technique Institute of Health and Human Movement, and what we will do today is help you, the runner, to run faster, further, with less effort and fewer injuries. And today our guest is Jorgen. Don't ask me to pronounce his surname, I will let you pronounce it. And he's from Amsterdam, and he's the founder of Marathon Lifestyle Now. Am I right?
That's correct. That's correct. The name might change. The name might change in due course, but I will let you know in advance. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for accepting my invitation, and I will let you introduce yourself to our listeners because you're going to do it better than me.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Jorgen Welsink, so I can imagine that my surname is a little hard for a lot of people to pronounce, but however, I'm living actually quite near the Amsterdam, but more closer to the beach. It's called a city that's called Bloemendaal, and if I just translate it exactly, it's Flowerdale.
Oh, that's nice, beautiful.
Yeah, and it's about 15-minute run from the beach and the dunes, and yeah, it's a great place. I have a girlfriend and I have two kids, one of 1 and one of 4. So I'm.
You're pretty busy. Yes.
Quite busy with that as well. Yeah.
So, tell us about what you do, like with your runners or with your clients. What exactly do you do with them?
But before that, I actually wanted to also people to let me know a little bit about my background, because I actually started going to an athletics club, basically when at the age of 4. So I started in a real early age already. I went there actually until I was 17, and then I basically made the switch to bodybuilding. So I gained a lot of weight, a lot of weight. So basically I'm now like 85 kilos. So I don't know in pounds exactly how much it is.
I don't know in pounds either.
But it's in LBS maybe.
Yeah, we can use that, the pounds, but kilograms. I think a lot of people know the kilograms anyway.
People know that. Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, and over the years, I did bodybuilding for about 17 years. So in that period of time, I gained over 50 kilos.
Wow.
So
muscle.
Yeah, mostly muscle. So my fat percentage was around at the peak level 130 kilos, and then I was approximately 9 to 10%. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then basically, I was fed up with that. I came in a burnout, and then I decided, let's go back to my former passion, which is running. And that's basically when I started running again. It's also when I started to become a personal trainer. In that period of time, my father became very ill. He had cancer. So I really started to look into nutrition, but basically not from a perspective of growth, which I was basically doing for the last 17 years while doing bodybuilding, but from the perspective of health. So I basically changed over my life. It was 2010 then. I decided to run a marathon. Then on the 1st of January, I was 130 kilos. And the 1st of January 2011, I ran a marathon. I ran the Marathon of Athens, which was my first real marathon that I ran, getting a medal. In 3:30, so that's pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
For a first marathon, and especially if you look at the way the hills are at the Athens Marathon, it's pretty good. So I was pretty happy with that, but I ran it the conventional way. So I did a lot of long runs. And after a while, especially at the end, you really notice that your whole immune system basically is torn apart, and it's terrible. You know, you get spots everywhere, and
it does.
You really
distance running.
Yeah, it's a big tear in your body. So from there, basically, I started. Yeah, I was doing a lot good already with the food. The 1st of January 2011, I weighed in 78 kilos instead of 130 kilos, so I lost 52 kilos in 1 year. Which was pretty good, all due to nutrition and basically changing my training regimen, more cardiovascular and less strength. But I found that I can run a marathon, but I think the way that normal people are approaching it, or the majority of people is doing it, is too much strain on the body, especially because most people, running is not their life. You work, you have kids, just like or you.
It's a hobby.
You have social life as well, and you do things around that. And for a lot of people, their work is already a lot of stress.
So take us through the conventional way of running. Why is it that it's not the best way of running, and what do you propose instead? I mean, how do you see running technique? This is what we're talking about.
It's running technique, but it's also the distance that you run, because if you look from a conventional perspective, especially the last 6 to 8 weeks, you basically run a minimum of about 50 to 60 miles, at least one really long, slow distance. LSD.
How many weeks before? 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks, and basically the training that I did was basically the week before I ran my marathon. Mm-hmm. And that's training program that I got from a professional triathlon athlete. The week before I did my marathon, I still ran 21 miles.
Yeah.
Just the week before.
So now when you work with your runners and you make these programs, it's kind of the same thing. So take us through a running schedule. Now, obviously, the listeners can't just take this and put it into application, because it might not work for them. But give us an idea of what do you do when you have to make a training plan for a runner who, let's say, can run, they did the couch to 5K, so they can do a 5K. And then 6 months later, they want to do a marathon. How would you structure their program? Give an example overall.
Basically, I recommend to run at least 3 times a week.
What distances?
The maximum is 8 miles. Mm-hmm. But also you run 1.5 mile, you run a 3 mile, you run a 2 mile. So basically, you do a lot of pretty small runs actually, and you build up, because basically you don't have to do a long, slow run to make your body adaptable to the impact that you get from running.
Yes.
So you have to run regularly.
It's being consistent with what you do.
You don't have to do. So basically, it would be best to have a maximum of 48 hours in between, because then you still add on to the training intensity, and you build up, and you go up with the level, and you get how do you say
adaptation. Adaptations.
You get
it comes after your training, the adaptation.
Exactly, you get the training adaptation from that. And if you wait longer than 48 hours, and the method that I'm using is scientifically researched and looked into, it's after 48 hours, basically you fall back a little bit.
Yeah. So you don't want more than 48. But in those 48 hours, they can do, swimming or cycling or nothing at all, or strength training. So they can do something else but running.
You can definitely do some cycling, some swimming. Is great recovery training, because it's really relaxed on the muscles. But also kettlebell training.
Yes, for strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know how to. Yeah, it's good to have a trainer for that, especially at the beginning, because it can, if you don't do it properly, it can really damage, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely.
You really, there's basically one exercise that's very important. That's the swing. If you learn that properly, and you do like 2 times a day, you make 100 swings.
Yes.
You
Good. Yeah.
get great benefits already, because I've trained some people to do the half marathon, and basically I took away their long slow run, and for that we added the kettlebell training.
Yeah.
And their times were so much better.
So okay, so we have 3 runs a week. So we have 6 months to the marathon.
Three
we have 3 runs, all the way until the end, or do we change anything at any point? If we are looking at a simple program.
In the beginning, you start, real small distances. Just especially if you can run 5K, you can run 5K. Yeah. But it's also good to get. You also want to speed.
And so for interval training.
Yeah, for that I do different things. You can run a 3K, but also I do Yassos.
Sorry, what is that?
You know Bart Yasso?
No.
Okay.
I may know, but I don't know the name.
Okay, Bart Yasso is somebody who's really into interval training, and basically what he recommended to add to the speed and also to upper your lactate threshold is to run 800 meters. So two times to the track and field, basically. Yeah. And if you look at the minute and the second time, so look at, okay, what do I want to run for a marathon? So imagine your time, you're aiming for 4 hours, for example. Then you run your 800 meters in 4 minutes.
Yes, yeah, and that's.
If you can run it in 4 minutes,
yeah,
with a break in between of maximum 3 minutes, and you can do that 10 times, the chances that you will run a marathon plus minus 5 minutes of the 4 hours is about 80. It's about 85%.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good. It's good for our listeners if they want to train for the marathon. It's just something that they can do by themselves with their watch. So we run 3 times a week, short distances.
Make sure when you. Oh, sorry, I interrupt you, but make sure that you do this not more than once every month.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Because it gives a lot of strain on the body. Yeah. But the adaptation you get after that, it's really huge, and it can be that you make sure you get to 10, even if you can't run the 4 minutes, but keep on practicing it every 4 weeks. And after a while, you notice that you can run all of them within the time limit of 4 minutes. Yes. Then you're on your way to run under 4 hours. Yeah, and if of course, I've run it in 3. So if you can do it in 3. Run it in 3, and I tried it out because I thought actually it was BS, to be honest. But I tried it and it works.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to for the listeners to actually give it a try. So so you do short distances 3 times a week for what, a month or 6 weeks, and then you add to your distance. So if someone who doesn't know, then the second month they add to the distance, and then.
Basically, when I personally coach them, every 4 weeks they get a different scheme for me, and I just look. I also look at their resting heart rate, because from there you can really see. It's not only the stress that you get from running, but also the stress you get from life. Yes, and that also impacts on your resting heart rate. If your resting heart rate is up, I won't upper the amount of kilometers that you run. Yeah. I will even lower the heart rate a little bit. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So to get less strain. Yeah. If you do it yourself, you can also, if you measure your resting heart rate every morning and you see it goes up more than 10%, then you know you have to slow down a little bit, because then you get too much tension on the body. Yeah. And that's really important actually, because stress from the life stress is can impact our performance straight away, isn't it? So absolutely. Yeah. So yesterday when we had our chat, we were talking about different types of running technique.
So I'm not sure what you wanted to talk about, but we mentioned it. And what are the different kinds of running technique, and why some are better than others?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You got the conventional running technique, which is really talk to a lot of people, and basically you put your heel, you land on your heel, and if you want injuries on your knees, or you want shin splints, or you want calf problems, run like I highly recommend to do it like that. If you don't want that. I can recommend for everybody who is landing on the heel at this moment, up your pace. So make smaller steps and up your pace. And up your pace for at least, if you count 1 foot, when it comes down, 84. 84 per minute.
Per minute, yeah.
84 per minute, yeah. So that way you make actually 168 steps every minute. Start with that and adapt that. It takes
time.
It takes time, because in the beginning you think, oh my God, my speed is going down and things like that. But keep consistent in it, because I ran from my 3rd until my 21 at an athletics club. They really teach me how to land on my heel. I had a lot of problems.
Oh, really? Oh.
With shin splints, especially when you go from the winter season to the track and field season. Yeah, when you go to the track again, and then always there are people with shin splints.
A lot of people think that, if we don't land on the heel, we land on the toes. But is it the toes we're landing on?
You can.
Or is it?
It depends. If you run barefoot, you could land on the toes, but especially
it's more of ball of the foot.
Personally, I would do more mid-foot, forefoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so why is that better than heel strike?
If you just look, you're really exactly putting the heels into the sand. So you stop the forward motion when you land on your heel, and when you land on your basically on how do you call that?
Ball of the foot.
The ball of the foot, yeah, exactly. The ball of the foot, or a little bit behind it, just in the middle. You keep the forward energy, especially if you keep your body straight up. Pull your belly in a little bit, and lean a little bit to the front. And then you keep forward motion. So basically, you run the same speed with less energy.
Yes.
So you can run a lot further already when you adapt it, but it takes time, because when I transitioned from that in 2010, I started running like that. It took me about 45 days to a little bit get used to it and to get a feeling that I was progressing. But it sometimes when you transition from heel landing to that, or when you start doing smaller steps, it kind of feels like you're running like an old man or old woman.
Yeah, it does feel like that, isn't it? I transitioned myself in 2012, I think, and that's kind of how it feels, because your steps are all of a sudden half your normal, but it does feel a lot better. It just feels lighter, softer. It's just it does.
And the fun thing is after a while your steps get bigger again, but you land the right way anyway. Yeah, because when you add some speed, your steps are gonna grow. But at first, you just have to adapt to the pace.
Yeah.
If you adapt to the pace, and that depends what kind of running you do, because of course, you asked me about it. You got the natural running, you got the ski running. And ski running is actually 110 passes every minute. 190, I mean. So 90 every beat.
And then you have the post method as well.
Then you have the post method as well, and I basically blended in a little bit myself, because they all have good things. I think for a lot of people, especially when they just transition, 180, 190 steps every minute is really a high pace to start with. So I recommend to start at 84.
Yes.
for every feet, so 168 every step. And for that, to get used to it, you can use a metronome.
Yeah. So can people use the pose method or chi running or natural running to run through a whole marathon? Can it be sustained? Can the technique be sustained through a whole marathon? Or will it?
Absolutely, but you know, if you transition after a while, when you get tired, it can be that you draw back a little bit to your previous way of running. But when you're just mindful for running, you can at least think about the things that you have to that you better should do. To land. And of course, you know, a marathon is a marathon.
Yeah, it's a long distance, so sometimes you just
it's a long run. So after a while, you get tired, you know, and especially if you really want a personal best, you know, you're doing your utmost. And for that, actually, I'll also recommend if you want to run, and if you want to run a personal best, always run a negative split.
Okay, that's good advice.
So a negative split is basically the first half you run pretty much slower, and the second half you just you cut off 3 to 4 to 5 minutes time of the previous at least.
So it's it's similar to an interval, but negative splits. Okay.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned yesterday regarding the shoes. So we're going to shoes now. You said something interesting that your foot will grow as you run, so the shoes need to be a certain size to make sure. Yeah, because we're talking about the marathon, so it's a long run. So what happens?
If you really want to run a longer distance, you know, after a while, and you also notice that basically when you buy shoes, buy them at the end of the day, preferably at a sales night, because your foot are just going to swell a little bit. When you run a long distance, it can be even almost a size up. When you buy a shoe, just look at your toe, and it should be about 1.5 thumb more than from your big toe off.
Wow, that big! I didn't think
that big.
So the difference is huge. I mean, I haven't had problems with my shoes, mostly because I like my toes to be able to move. So I think I naturally go for a long...
Fibrams.
Yeah, so I think I naturally go for shoes that are slightly bigger than my foot. But that's a very important topic that I just wanted you to mention. Right, so you know, we do the marathon or our training, and then how about recovery? Sleep, supplements, nutrition. What can you tell us about that after the marathon or during our training? Because recovery is the most important.
Of course, sleep is of course very important.
How much sleep?
That depends. Basically, I would recommend you can actually you can test it. If, for example, you got a Whoop. I don't know if you know the Whoop, but the Whoop is a new. I will put it in the. Put it in your in the chat.
Well, don't worry. Send me all the links after, and then I'll put them under the video when the video gets published. So people.
But I also put it in now because otherwise I might forget. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to be honest. Okay. Good. Yeah. And with this, basically, you can measure it. It's not cheap, but it's recommended. Besides that, make sure that you also have a recovery run.
What does that mean? What does a recovery run mean? How long or how fast?
Yeah, for example, you did usually for me personally. Usually, when I go to the track and field and I do my yassos, I do it on Friday. So then, about 800 meters. So you run for half an hour approximately, and then the day after I run for 45 minutes, and my heart rate is about in my D0, D1.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and not
so nice
so
and slow.
yeah, so real slow, real relaxed.
Why is the recovery run important?
The recovery run is important because you get the blood flow going, and basically the blood flow, especially if you get the right food, the blood flow is going to recover your muscles faster. So a short run for 45 minutes, or you can also run like 5 times 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Really slow. Walk in between for about 1 minute. So run 10 minutes, walk for 1 minute.
Yeah.
And another add to the 5 times 10 is also that your body starts to adapt more to tap into fat as an energy source.
Okay.
Because that's what we talked about yesterday.
Yes.
You want to create a fat burning machine instead of a carb running machine.
So tell us more about the. Well, actually, let's finish with the recovery. So you said if you get the right nutrition. So what is the right nutrition? What kind of nutrients we need for good recovery?
Of course, proteins are very important. You can eat. I don't know. Might be a lot of vegans also around, but you can eat a little bit of fish. You can eat some meat, of course. Yeah, that helps. What I personally do, I'm about 90% vegan, so I use a lot of pea protein.
Pea protein. Okay. Do you have a brand? For example, if I'm gonna send you an email with the links that I want from you. Do you have a brand that you can recommend to our readers, listeners?
Yeah, I can. And it's actually a UK company as well. So
so that's a good source of protein.
Yeah, that's why I always buy proteins without a taste.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, just unflavored basically, because when they add flavor, usually they use a lot of synthetic sweeteners you don't want in your body, basically.
So what else? Proteins for recovery, and do you make shakes with this pea protein?
I make shakes. I will send me a message that I will send you some information about a recovery shake.
Okay, perfect. So you have it somewhere we can share it with the audience?
I will also put it on the website, or otherwise, we can create. I don't know. You can make a podcast page or something like that.
I will make that. It's going to be a blog.
Put it on there, and otherwise people can contact me for more info. And one of the things, I don't know, your listeners might also have sometimes cramps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how do they deal with that?
When running, and how do you deal with that? A lot of people, about 90% of the people, is magnesium deficient. So 30 minutes before you go to sleep, take 2 tablets of magnesium citrate and go to sleep.
Obviously, if they have any health conditions, they have to check with their doctor about the tablets and all that.
Check out. I'm also an orthomolecular therapist, but I'm not a doctor.
Yes, you are actually. Yeah, I did check that out.
Nutritionist as well. Always check with your doctor,
if
especially
you're not sure,
if you have some problems with your kidneys. Ask if it's alright to take magnesium citrate. Usually, for most people, it's alright to just take 400 milligrams of magnesium citrate, but the citrate is really important, because otherwise your body's not going to use it. And another thing you can do, especially when you have cramps, is take a cup, add some lukewarm water, and put in a teaspoon of Celtic sea salt.
Okay.
Stir and swallow. There are a lot of it's basically an electrolyte drink that you can take. And also,
can you use other type of salt, or
I would highly recommend Celtic sea salt.
Okay, well, I'll check that one out, because I have Himalayan and all the other stuff, but
Himalaya is okay, but Himalaya is a land salt.
And
the energy is out of the land salt. Yeah, it used to be a sea salt, but it's not a sea salt anymore. And Celtic sea salt, it's still active because the sea basically it's going to wash the salt clean.
Yes.
And there's a lot more energy in the Celtic sea salt. And the nice thing is, it's just around the corner because it's coming from France, so it's not that expensive. Usually, even cheaper than Himalaya salt.
Oh, it's good.
And
okay,
it's
awesome.
Really good. Buy the gray one, not the Fleur de Sel, but Sel de Gris.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then let me just take notes because these are a lot of information here. I'm just gonna take a note to put the links. So link to Celtic salt, so that people have it under the video, and then link to smoothie with pea protein. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I'm gonna forget everything we talked. Well, I have the video. I can look at the video. Watch the video.
Yeah. Yeah, you can always look at it.
Okay. So yeah, so protein, but how about, fats? A lot of, actually, if you look at the general, how they teach us, is after the workout, get carbohydrates, high glycemic index carbohydrates in, and right after the workout, so the muscles absorb it. What do you think about that?
If you want to do basically to stop the training adaptation after your workout as quickly as possible, get in carbs.
Okay, so it's not the best idea.
So no, I would not recommend it. Besides that, if you before you run, something that might be nice for your people as well is take some coconut oil. Mm-hmm. Take a coffee spoon. Take it in.
So what's that gonna do?
It's gonna make you run.
Well, actually, this fat
it's gonna make you run on fat.
But
make you run on fat.
But that's
especially if you do a morning run.
Yeah. But but the body has a lot of fat. Can it take from the fat we already have?
No, but this way you turn on the switch for your body from just get fat, so I have to burn fat. Because when you take a banana, for example, it's going to go to carbs.
Yeah, it's going to
take a little bit of fat, just half of a coffee spoon or a teaspoon, with a little bit of coconut oil before you're going to run, and
you're gonna run a marathon tomorrow.
I ran a marathon on a tablespoon of coconut oil and water.
And nothing throughout the marathon?
No.
Interesting. I've just started getting into coconut oil, and because in Eastern Europe we don't. Now it's starting to be more to come out, but now I've started getting into coconut milk, coconut oil, so I've started using it. So I'm starting to learn about it, and indeed. So okay. So if we want to build a fat burning machine, and if we want to run, if we want our body to use our fat when we run, we should base our nutrition overall on protein and fats. Is that correct?
More, yeah.
More. So if you look at the percentage, so how much of our diet would you say would be good?
It depends what you want to do. I did a ketosis diet. So basically, it's about 75% of the foods that you take as fat. About 15% is carbs, and the rest is fibers.
Is that a good diet to try, to go on?
It's pretty extreme, to be honest, but it definitely works. And you can also do it for a short period of time. But if you want to really set your body on to do a ketosis diet, I would highly recommend to consult an expert on that.
Yeah.
Because
just don't do it by yourself.
No, they can better contact me, and I give them some recommendation that. But on the other hand, basically, what you can do, cut down on carbs. Cut down on carbs, increase the amount of veggies that you eat.
And just start like that.
And go for, of course, coconut oil, but also an avocado is actually, it's mainly it's mainly fat.
Mm-hmm.
Pistachios are an incredible, especially for runners. Actually, there's an incredible amount of good fats in there,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of minerals which basically help you to not get cramps.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Uh, we should mention that raw pistachios, not
Raw,
the other
raw is
ones. Just in
it's
case,
even
I gotta mention.
raw. Yeah, no, raw is better.
Yeah.
But even if you eat regular pistachios,
Mm.
it's there are still, of course, it's less, and basically
Mhm.
minerals are not affected by heat.
Okay, yes, indeed they're not.
So all the minerals
So you're gonna
which
still.
are in the pistachios are still there. Of course, there are some bad fats, definitely, but still, if you can get some pistachios which are basically not raw,
Mm-hmm.
instead of not eating, then I would definitely go for that. Yeah,
Okay.
or
Okay.
instead of a lot of carbs,
Yes, yes, yes.
instead of a
That yeah.
nice pastry of a bit of pistachios.
Actually, yeah,
That's
yeah.
it's
I
an
think
easy
it's a good
choice.
compromise, to
It,
be honest. I think it's
yeah,
good.
it depends what kind of things you have as substitute.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Okay. How about gels? We talk about the gels that people use when they run. So how do they
Yeah.
work? And for people who want to go on a more natural approach, what are the placements and things that you can take with you? Because I think the gels are the easiest thing to do because you just put them there and you just in the arm pocket. So something that people can take with them on a long run. So
hmm
tell us how it works to begin with.
Yeah, basically you just get in a lot of sugar,
Mm-hmm.
so it makes sure that your body is actually a sugar running machine.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take one, after a little bit, you have to take another one.
It's about 15,
So
20 minutes, they say on the pack, isn't it? Or whatever.
yeah, or if you run a marathon, if you want to do it properly, you need at least every 5K you need one gel.
Hmm.
And I don't know, did you ever taste some gels?
I did try it out, but I gave up very fast. There,
No, the taste.
I went back to dark
Yeah,
chocolate, to be honest.
yeah.
'Cause it's
You know,
it's not it's not a
that's
great
a
thing.
choice already. So besides that, yeah, the regular gels are basically chemical bombs.
Mm.
There's usually maltodextrin in there, which is mostly from GMO source.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm no fan of GMO. If I can prevent it,
Yeah. Well, why is that? What kind of damage does that do to the GMOs? From a
yeah,
health perspective.
from a that's actually it's unknown. It's a new territory. What is known is that people who tend to eat more GMO food are highly likely to get cancer, organ failure,
Mm.
and things like that. So I stay away from it
Yeah.
as far as I can.
Well, it's not natural. We are organic. We are organic, so the best thing to give our body is something
Exactly.
organic.
It's just kinetical manipulation of food. They combine things of insects with veggies, with fruit, and
Okay, let's go back to our gels.
yeah,
That
I think it's really
is
really
such a bad
scary.
combination.
Uh, uh, the one thing that is good for maltodextrin, because of course you can use fruit.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could use some. I don't know. You can take a banana or whatever. You can take it with you. Personally, I can't really eat when I run. I don't know how it's for you, but for me, it's.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of eating while running as well.
I
But
can I can drink a lot, but no, I can't eat. So it would be an idea to get, if you can get maltodextrin from an organic source, and you can, you just have to search for it, but you can.
how about the fruit purees, the things that come in pouches for babies? That's a fruit puree. That work?
You can do it, but the thing is, when you take a gel, usually you need energy. And of course, when you run a marathon, usually if you're not really fat adapted as I am, and most people are not, then you need some sugar during your run. And fructose it takes a lot of time to get it into the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the advantage of maltodextrin. So personally, I would recommend chia seeds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a known. Well,
That's
some people
also
know. I know about that. Yeah.
I don't know if you have it actually in the UK. It's
Yeah,
called,
we have it. Yeah, in all the stores, chia seeds.
yeah,
Yeah, we have it.
that's
I mean,
just,
I use it to make a drink.
okay.
I make myself.
I mean Dixup,
Yeah.
but I will check because it's actually it's a kind of syrup which is made from apples.
Hmm.
Dixup.
So you did mention something about the chia seeds.
Yeah, I have actually, and I can even post it to you.
Yeah, but yesterday you mentioned something about making a bowl out of chia seeds with something else.
Yeah, you can actually
what
make
is that?
gel. You can make gels from
Oh yeah,
from chia.
So how do you make that?
Yeah.
Take
So,
us through the recipe.
Yeah, so basically what you need is 1 ounce of chia seeds.
Yeah.
You need 1 medium seedless orange.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a 3/4 cup of brown rice syrup, or you can add a little bit of honey.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer honey to be and specifically raw honey. You can do a little bit of dry fruit packed in, and then you can add just half a teaspoon of salt, Celtic sea salt.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put this recipe underneath the video as well. There are a lot of things, a lot of links, a lot of resources for you guys. So okay, so we got the gels, how they work, what's in them, the replacement for gels to make yourself.
Yeah, and of course there are more. I will put it actually here. Then you have the whole recipe already in your.
Okay, perfect.
Your
Well,
chat.
I'm gonna email you to ask you for all these things because I need them all in one place anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there are just a couple more things that we said we're gonna. The one is your opinion on carb loading. So people one day before their marathon they eat a lot of pasta, or 3 or 4 days they eat like a lot of carbohydrate. And yeah, I know we talked about turning your body into a fat burning machine, but I want to know your opinion. Does this actually work? Are you gonna run further and faster on the marathon day than if you had a normal meal with a good combination of fat, protein, and if you want carbohydrates, a small amount of carbohydrates? Is that going to make a difference if you eat a big pile of pasta one night before?
I would say not for everybody.
Okay, so for some people that works.
For some people it might work, especially if you're sugar adept.
Mm-hmm.
If your body is really into sugars and you have been taking a lot of gels during your runs and things like that, then it might work. But for me personally, I've run my best times without the carb loading.
Okay, so it depends what type of body you have. If it's
it not only depends on the kind of body you have, but it depends on the kind of food that you eat on a regular basis.
Yeah.
If you eat a lot of carbs, it might work for you. But I'm just not a big fan of carbs.
Yeah.
So I eat a lot of veggies, and I eat eggs though.
You eat, sorry?
Eggs.
Eggs, yeah. Well,
biological, dynamically farmed.
I love them.
Yeah. But yeah.
And also, I mean, if you do carb load, then the body will use the carbs a lot faster, and then you're gonna need another carb top up and another one. If you run on fat, then fat is already in your cells, in your muscles, in everything in your body. So you have energy all the time, isn't it?
Exactly. Even if you're slim, you have a lot of organ fat anyway. So there's a lot to burn, and you can basically if you make your body more fat dependable, and maybe we can even do a separate interview on that one.
Yes.
But you know, you can basically run for days.
Yeah.
On the fat storage. Yeah. Of course, you have to drink. You have to make sure that you get in your electrolytes from Celtic sea salt, and maybe you get in a little bit of extra fat just to get in a bit of energy for your body. But you can really, if you really make your body fat adaptable.
Yeah.
Over a while, you know, you notice. Usually you can run to the wall, you know.
Yeah, you can run to the wall.
You know, some people have around 35K. You have a wall in a marathon running. When you have that figure of speak wall, when you're fat adaptable, after a while you just notice that your body really, oh, there's no sugar in my body anymore. I switch to fat, and then you just feel that you have an endless amount of energy going. So basically.
So that's what's happening with the wall. Body switches.
No. Yeah. For people who can.
Okay, yeah, for people who are trained.
For people who are trained, it will. For people who run to the wall and the body does not have the sugar anymore, the body does not know what to do anymore, and then you're slowing down and it's hard and it's a drag. And the last okay, you know, the last half a marathon for me is fun.
Yeah.
For most people, that's the hardest part. So
awesome.
and that's the difference that's happening.
Okay, all right, that's really important. And I think the last thing we talked about is how to keep your body in balance from a nutritional and hormonal level perspective. And we talked a little bit about cortisol. So can you explain to the audience, to the viewers, what is cortisol and why is it good, why is it bad, and how do we control it?
Yeah, okay. Everybody has, you know, your body needs a little amount of stress anyway, because that basically also when your cortisol is high, you're going to be basically in a fight or flight modus. So some organs and some energy would rate are functioning more properly. So your eyes and your ears. So basically, if you have to run really fast in a dangerous situation or whatever, it's good that your body builds up cortisol, and that basically has some organs which are not as important at that moment are not going to function that well. But you can run really fast. You're really strong. Imagine that your kid is almost, I don't know, almost covered by I don't know, a car or whatever. And you just push it away because you got an incredible amount of strength. That is what cortisol can do. But if you
at the high level, oh yeah, because it's flight or flight. Yeah,
at the fight or flight.
Yeah.
So that's actually good. That's good. And sometimes there are situations where you need that. But if your kidneys and if your liver and if basically your organs, your intestinals, if they're not going to function properly on a regular basis because your stress level is really high, basically all the nutrition that you get in, it just get out, but it's not going to be taken by the body.
Not absorbed.
It's not going to be absorbed. So basically what happens, you get really expensive food. If you get in the right nutrition, of course.
Yes.
So you can eat a lot of vegetables. You can eat a lot of good stuff. But if your body is really high in cortisol, it's not going to absorb.
Yeah, and that's when we need to take vitamin supplements because we're not absorbing.
Then when you take vitamin supplements, you know,
you're not going to absorb.
Is high. You're not going to absorb anyway.
Yeah.
So you buy a good feeling.
Yes.
So you first have to balance out the stress level. So what you can do, I talked about the magnesium already.
Yes.
When you take the two tablets of magnesium citrate 30 minutes before before you go to sleep, it really reduces the stress level and makes sure that your body gets into a deeper REM sleep. Yeah, rapid eye movement, so the really deeper sleep. So your body recovers already a little bit. And to also add on that, what you can also do is before you go to sleep, you just sit up straight up in a chair. You breathe in. You breathe out, and you wait for about 2 to 3 seconds. For some people, it's difficult to count 2. So what you can do, you can just say the sentence, and now I wait for approximately 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah, if you just do that slowly, it's just going to be 2 seconds, and then you breathe in again, and you breathe out. If you have a heart band, or you have a watch which you don't have a heart band and you don't need it anymore, you can see that your heart rate is going down. Do that for approximately 5 minutes and go to sleep. That reduces the amount of stress on the body significantly. And when you do the same after your run, it's going to help you.
So just
help you a lot.
Yeah, just relax your body, breathe, and yeah, that's a good thing. You say that phrase. Now I'm just gonna wait for 2 seconds, and that's
it's just difficult, and some people are gonna 1, 2, and
yes.
1, 2, and they're almost gonna die before they breathe in again. So it's not gonna work. And besides that, a lot of people already have. They actually can do an exercise where they breathe in and breathe out. Just the normal way that they do it.
Yeah.
And they look at their watch and they take 1 minute. And count the amount of times that you breathe in, breathe out. So breathe in and breathe out
is
one.
Simple. Yeah.
Is 1. Yeah. Count them all.
For 1 minute, you count all your in breaths and out breaths.
You count the amount of
Yeah. Okay.
And then just see how high you are.
Yeah.
If you're above 12.
Yeah.
You have too much stress.
It's a good test. Above.
It's a really good test.
Is it?
If you're about.
So 1.
If you're above 15.
Yeah.
If you're.
Sorry.
If you're above 17.
Yeah.
Just at a relaxed state, huh? If you're above 70, you're nearing a burnout.
Okay. 17?
Yeah?
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
Everything. Just in a relaxed state. So.
Okay. Okay. That's a very good way of measuring it. I like that. Yeah. Okay. Now I know you have a program, an online program, and then if people want more personalized. So if a runner comes to you, like bullet points, tell me what would you help them with? How would you help them if they want to run faster, further, and with less injuries? So if you have a bullet points, like a system, what would be the first step, second step, third step? Like running technique, nutrition, I don't know, sleeping patterns. I don't know your program. So that's so explain to people if they want to work, if they want to go on your program, what will they go through?
First, I also always want to do a Skype, just like we're doing now, just to get, so you can look each other in the eye, or if they're in the area, we can do it live, of course, and just see, okay, where they're at the moment, and where they want to be, and after that, I just go to the nutrition, so just write down everything you eat for a week.
So there's the second step. So
that's the second step. So, yeah.
And then if they sign up with you, you take them to nutrition.
Yeah, take them to nutrition. I want to put their heart rate zones. I want to measure that, so I will give them, if they're near me, we can do it together, and otherwise I will give them the protocol, how they can measure it on a cycle, and also on a running bench, and 2 tests they have to do on separate days, and from there I can decide what their endurance levels are, and from there, depends if somebody is from 0 to from couch to 5K. I start up a little bit slower, and if they're a little bit improved level, I start a little bit higher, and I will
so you
also
start with the programs.
depending on their physical level, I will also just add. Okay, you can do an extra long run, and every in the beginning, the first four weeks, I just every week I just want to see what they have done, and what their resting heart rate is before they wake up, just after they wake up, and from there I just continue the program. The minimum amount of days that I need is 100 days to get people prepared for a marathon. But if we
days. Okay. That's good.
But if we have longer, it will benefit the result, because it's just it's what you keep doing every day.
Yeah.
That's also it's gonna bring the result. So preferably it's 6 months. That's amazing amount of time which will benefit a lot. And what I see usually in the process is that people, they change when I train them. They're in better shape, they feel better, their energy is improving. For a lot of people, their business is even improving. They just feel
more energy.
Yeah, more energy, but also they're clearer in the mind. They're more decisive. Usually, their fat muscle balance is going to change, because besides running, you also have to do. And I just have it now in Dutch, but I will also make it in English. I have a 4-minute body running program, which I just do in their rest days. So it's just a Tabata-like exercise, specifically pinpointed for people who run.
Okay, that's great. So if anyone wants to, do you train online as well? So if I have someone from London, for example, or from who wants to train with you, do it online. Yeah.
To be honest, if we can find about 10 people, I just fly over.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't mind. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to know more, or if they want to work with you, wherever they are in the world?
Yeah, go to marathonlifestylenow.com. That's my website.
I'll put the link underneath the video.
Yeah,
with that.
Go to the contact form, and let's have a Skype. Let's see what we can do for each other, and then after that, people can decide if they want to work with me. And to be honest, I also will decide if I want to work with that person, because
of course.
There has to be a connection, because otherwise I'm not going to work with people.
Of course, it'd be both ways. Well, I think we've gone through everything, and timing, we're good. So is there anything else you'd like to add that you want?
One of the things that I'm also very keen on, and we covered it a little bit, but I'm also I use a lot of supplements as well. And that's, for example, just a multivitamin or things like that, and that can also really help. But there's a lot of BS on the market, and where you buy a good feeling. So I really studied the supplements and their bindings, and how it can be adapted in the body, and how it can be used. So
if anyone wants information on supplements,
can help them on that, actually, because I also help people with, for example, fibromyalgia.
It's a difficult word, actually.
and diabetes and things like that. So also, when you have diabetes, definitely go and run a marathon. But do it under supervision, and contact me. Yeah,
definitely. If anyone wants to work with or to know more about Jorgen, and especially if you guys want to know a lot about supplements, because this is actually something really important, not just go in a store and just buy random supplements and vitamins.
exactly.
Yeah,
A lot of
get in touch.
synthetical shit, actually.
Yeah.
Excuse the word.
Yeah. Well, that's the
That's
word.
being sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's terrible. So I'm really. I heard you talking about raw. Yeah, I'm really into raw. I don't do everything raw, but I do a lot raw.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's live food. So,
Yeah.
okay. Well, Jorgen, thank you very much for coming on our show. I really appreciate it, and the value and the information you gave us. It's it's priceless, to be honest. So this was Jorgen. How do you pronounce your surname again? Thank you very much for watching, guys. This is Alexandra Merisoiu, and you watched the Running Wild TV. I'll see you at the next interview. Have a great day.
Thanks for having me. Bye.